Hello. Welcome along. This is episode 160, unless I've made a mistake, in which case that would be obviously very embarrassing. Episode 160, you are welcome. I've got a couple of things to cover in this episode. One is a little progress update of where things are in terms of releasing a new album and the promotion that's going alongside that. Then I'm probably going to have, if you'll excuse me, a very brief rant, and we can move on together. Let's do the progress update first while I'm still in a good mood. And this is about the fact that in the last episode 159, not very long ago, I think I probably misled you, because at that time I was talking very confidently about the fact that I would release 10 tracks from this album. And in fact, I had just released the 10th track, A Little Light, which is a lovely song, and you can find it now on Spotify and all your favourite streaming platforms, and indeed on YouTube as well. So I talked about how that was the 10th single, that then there was going to be the release of the album with a couple of new tracks, and Bob's your uncle. Well, probably not, but hopefully that would be it. Okay, the thing is, I am working, as I've mentioned a couple of times, I'm working with a music PR company for the very first time, helping to actually promote this album that's coming out, this 6th album that will be out. It's called Strange Alien. It'll be out, I think, on the 31st of May, right at the end of May, last Friday of May. And just in the last few days, in the discussions we've had about how we promote, what the timings are, etc., I drew attention to the fact that I suddenly had a bit of a last-minute worry that one of these last two tracks 11 or 12, one of them, called Face the Music, just happened to be really catchy. Now, you might say, so what are you worrying about? Well, the point is, this PR company kind of needs to know that, because they might think, and this is my train of thought, they might think, what an idiot. You know, he's kept back one of the strongest tracks and not told us about it. We're now PRing like mad on some other tracks, and this is the one we should be going for, and he hasn't told us about it. So I was having a moment of sort of doubt, and maybe possibly even a little bit of guilt, thinking I've sort of misled them. So I dropped them a note and I said, listen, there are these 2 tracks I'm putting on the album. One of them, I'm a bit worried, is a bit good. Do you agree with me? I basically said, you know, am I talking nonsense? Please be a sensible person, just listen to it and give me a rational answer, because you know, and I've told you many times, I am not a good judge of my own work. I'm probably the worst judge of my own work. I don't know what's going to be, you know, more successful than another thing, and I know it's difficult to tell, but I know that I'm particularly bad at this. Anyway, the response came back quite gratifyingly that I was probably right, and that was one of the catchiest tracks, and it was probably a good job I brought it to their attention. And what they suggested was that instead of just releasing 10 singles and then releasing the album with 2 mystery tracks, that I should release an 11th single, that one being the song in question, Face the Music, and then release the album a week later with just 1 mystery track. And who's going to be hurt by this? What harm could this possibly do? So I basically said, what a good idea, thank you. And that's what we're doing. So I know that last week I went to great lengths saying 10 tracks, that's your singles, then you release the album with 2, and I'm now done with the singles, I'm releasing the album. I was wrong. And probably about a day later, I kind of began to realise that I was wrong. So here I am, just putting that one right. And it's one of the really reassuring things about having some other people with ears listening to your stuff who are kind of on your side and want to you know, work for you. The other thing I just want to bring to your attention, because it's a bit of a first for me, they said to me, now when we do this promotion work, and mostly this is going to be happening in May, obviously it's not very far off, you're going to need some professional artist pics, some photographs of you, you know, that can adorn your social media, that can be in a magazine, for example, whatever it is, whatever the need is. Do you have some up-to-date professional pictures Well, I don't, because I don't think I've got almost any professional pictures. So I spoke to a good friend of mine. Her name is Rachel. She is going to be popping around tomorrow and trying to make something of this, to come up with a bunch of professional pictures that in some way can be my brand, I suppose, and help shiny up my social media, and be used if there's, for example, an article in a magazine. What does this guy look like? Yeah. So, well, she's got her work cut out, hasn't she? That'd be fun. I've never done this before, and I don't feel like I'm a very photogenic person, because, there's a track record there that suggests that I'm possibly not. So, good luck, Rachel. We'll see how that goes. I'll share with you, I promise. I always do. And that'll be fun. Okay. A little while ago, actually 7 or 8 years ago, I wrote a song called Gypsy. You can find the song as track 2 on the very first album I released, called Circle Line, back in 2017. So here we are, almost 7 years later, and I was thinking, what song would I like to bring to your attention? And I just kept coming back to this one again and again, because, and why? Well, because this week in the UK, we have finally passed into law a bill that suggests that illegal immigrants who arrive on our shores, in particular we're talking about people who cross the channel in little boats, can be sent to Rwanda without any further ado, without checking of their need, of their asylum case. It's just putting them on a plane, sending them away, and then when they get to Rwanda, they can't come back. There are lots of things wrong with this policy. It will never deter the people coming across the channel. It's incredibly expensive, but ultimately, it's also unbelievably cruel and immoral and unlawful. Just a few little problems I've got with it. I think it's an utter disgrace. I don't normally get into politics, but this one is just shameful. We should not be doing this. And this song, Gypsy, was written partly about this, all those years ago, and we're still doing it, and it's worse, obviously, because we just made this ridiculous, horrible thing into law. So I'm going back to, when I went back to the song, if you just put the politics to one side for a minute, I'm done with the ranting. You can probably tell I'm not particularly happy with it. If you just look at the song, when I went back to the song, I really like the song. It's full of complexity and stuff going on. It was quite an ambitious song to do on the very first album, and if I'm honest, there are bits of it I really like, and other bits I really don't like. So I'm actually having a go. Maybe maybe I'm biting off more than I can chew, but having a go at kind of re-recording the vocals, as you might imagine, and maybe adding a few other bits and pieces to it as well. But it's the vocals mainly where it sounds a bit like it's falling short, and it could be just bigger and more powerful. I think I hadn't really found my singing voice on that first album, and there's lots about the album that I'm proud of, but the vocals were not at their best, and nor was I really able to record them at the best, because I hadn't learned a lot of the things I have since learned about how to record, some pretty basic things actually. So as we speak, I'm putting some final touches to a bit of a zhuzh up of this track that, as I say, you'll find as track 2 on that very first album. It's called Gypsy, and I will bring it to you, because this song still says, in fact, more powerfully than before because of what's gone on recently. I mean, the song hasn't changed. It's just the situation, the circumstances have. So I would like to leave you with a revised, improved singing version of that track, Gypsy, from my first album, and with it, the original video that I made with help floating little paper boats in the bath with some pink bath salts. I know that sounds a bit weird, but we just wanted it to look surreal, and because there are no people bobbing about in the boats, it's just empty boats. It's quite bleak. So on that really happy note, I will leave you here on Videocast 160. See you very soon, and here's Gypsy. We've been walking north for weeks, and now we've reached the mountain peaks. Right up to the top we'll climb, until we reach the borderline. And everything will turn out fine. Started out with leaders strong. We started out with prayer and song. Some got scared and turned around, and some grew weak and just went down. We left them there on this frozen ground. Maybe I'm a gypsy now, no fixed abode. I can't go forward and I can't go back. Gonna spend my whole life here out on the road. I don't care what you call me, I know that nothing comes for free. Maybe I'm a gypsy, maybe I'm a refugee. Don't care what you call me, I know that nothing comes for free. Maybe I'm a gypsy, maybe I'm a refugee. I am here with my sister too. Mom told us what to do. She said London, Paris or Berlin, the people there will take you in and help you start to live your life again. We started out with leaders strong. We started out with prayer and song. I never had a doubt until I heard the people shout. They've locked the gates, they've locked the gates to keep us out. Someone tell me what the sense is of building walls and barbed wire fences. Would you rather watch us flee in broken boats, lost at sea? I don't care what you call me, I know that nothing comes for free. Maybe I'm a gypsy, maybe I'm a refugee. Don't care what you call me, I know that nothing comes for free. Maybe I'm a gypsy, maybe I'm a refugee. I don't know if God is here, or if I pray would He appear. God's everywhere, I suppose, but is this really what He chose? 'Cause where we are came so fast.